Welcome, everybody. It's so good to have you here. Welcome. Today, we're going to focus on one particular trade setup during our 4-week trading challenge with FX Trader's Edge and the Wavy Tunnel Pro. Today's Tuesday, October 26th. And as a trader who has been trading for quite a long time, starting on Wall Street in the 1980s, yes, that's right, I've been trading for a long time. I started trading currencies back in the 80s. Right now, I'm in a place where I just like to focus on one thing, one trade that's high probability, one trade that's going to make me my money, one trade, so that I don't get distracted. There are so many distractions in the market these days. It's great that the markets are really volatile and that the markets are moving up. All the markets are up overnight, the indices. So that's just terrific. But what I'm going to show you today and really delve in deep on is the Wave 5 trade. Many of you know that I'm an Elliott Wave person, which means that I follow the market cycles. I believe in the market cycles, that the markets follow patterns. And when they follow patterns and we internalize those patterns, we can make better trades. It's almost in our gut that when we see a pattern, we know how to trade it. And that's what this breakout 4 trade is to me. It's in my gut, and hopefully I can share some insights with you today. So here's the disclaimer. So this is the 8-wave market cycle that I'm talking about. Let's just go through this briefly. We have the trend moves, the 5-wave up, and sometimes don't get distracted by counting the waves. Sometimes a 5-wave move can seem like a very extended move, a very extended trend move, like we have in the S&P, like we have in the indices, like we have in many stocks, because the markets just keep moving up and up and up. So we're not so concerned with labeling the waves, where are we in the wave count, but we are concerned with buying the pullback. So very often when the market does move up and we are ready for a correction, this is when people get very greedy, optimistic, and exuberant. They load up here, and then the market sells off, and this is where people are bailing. So what this breakout 4 trade does is it gets us in the mindset to be buying down here. And we're actually switching the greed with the fear. So down here, we want to be greedy, and up here, we want to be fearful. Now, the Wavy Tunnel Pro offers quite a few different setups for knowing when we are on top here and when we're going to correct as well. But today, like I said, we're just going to focus on buying down here. Like the Wavy Tunnel Pro offers setups really for every part of the market cycle, but I just want to focus on buying down here. And this is what it looks like on a chart after the market has moved up quite extensively, quite dramatically, then we have a correction. And our system tells us when to get into the trade. When we see the gray arrow or the gray dot, that's our ready signal. And then when we see the arrow, that's our trigger. Okay. But certainly you can begin looking at a chart when we have the gray dot, when we're shown that the market is ready. And we are going to look for some trades today. First, we're going to review the portfolio that I put together last week that I've been sharing with you. And then we're going to review some trades today and actually look at taking some trades. If you haven't joined the Stock Discord channel, please join. This is the link, and you can use your phone to get in this way. So this is the watch list from last night. Okay, it actually changed this morning because we have a few more trades that just came on. So these are all of the trades that have this breakout 4 setup on the watch list. The ready signal is over here. So when it's ready, this is the number of candles saying when it's ready, when it has the gray dot. and then the signal is in the right column. So you can see there are quite a number of stocks that are on this list. And this list can be looked at on a daily basis, but really it's only necessary to look at it once a week for swing trading. Now, if you want to use this list and day trade with it, that's fine too. Then you would look at the hourly chart or maybe even the 15-minute chart, probably the hourly chart to get in a day trade. Okay. And you can take advantage of this through the options market or just by buying shares. Really doesn't matter. We'll get into that in a little more shortly. So these were the trades that I've been posting that I took over the last week. Okay, these are the trades. I exited Eli Lilly on one account, IBM, Facebook, and Netflix. Netflix because it reached full profits, IBM because it collapsed. So I bought a protective put both on IBM and Facebook. So these two positions were a wash. I didn't lose any money on these positions, even with the market collapsing overnight. And then even telling you, well, I'm going to have to be managing these trades tomorrow. And the way I manage the trades is just to buy a short-term put, a 1-week put, and then really get down into it. It takes work. I mean, I have to look at the shorter time frames and I have to follow it, which is fine. And then I leave a profit order to get out at the same amount of money, dollar amount, that I would lose getting out of the spread. Starbucks expires this week on Friday, and then these expire next month. And I am ready to put on a whole bunch more positions probably today. So let's just have a look. This is AMT. I structured this through the options market, but you can buy shares. You can buy a bull call spread. You can buy a bull put spread. You can buy a short-term option, a call. You can do any of those things. But what's beautiful about this pattern, I mean, this is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm not going to get into exactly what goes into putting out this signal, but it is a combination of things. And suffice it to say that when we see the gray dot and then the green arrow, that's the buy signal. That's the trigger. So with the option that I took, I did a bull call spread on this one. Price needed to close above 255 to gain full profits. It needs to close because I still have this on. Now, one thing that I didn't do last week when I put on those positions, I didn't look for the earnings releases, which was kind of silly because IBM and Facebook both had earnings releases and a few other stocks did as well. So that's a word of caution. Make sure you know when the earnings release is, and if there are a bunch of earnings releases during the week, make sure your option goes out further. I had a few options that expired at the end of the week and had earnings releases during the week. So that's why I had to manage the IBM and the Facebook. This is still in play. Price needs to close above 108 to gain full profits. Hey, we're currently trading up here. I may have to manage some of these positions. I may, but one other thing to note, you don't need to keep the position until expiration. You can get out at 50% profits or at 75% profits. And then you have more capital to use for the next one because these setups abound. They're showing up every single day. So that might be a more conservative way to trade it. Now, if you buy the shares, then you would buy the shares and trade it as you would normally trade it, picking levels, picking targets, and leaving stop losses. If you buy the option spread, the vertical, then you can take 50% of the profits or 75% of the profits if the market gives you that. And in these markets, every single one gave that. I mean, even the IBM, I kept it. It had 50%, maybe even 75% profits in it. I didn't take it. And then it came down and I ended up buying the put and breaking even on the trade. But then I was speaking to Shamsel and he said, it might be a good idea to take 50% or 75% of the profits. And I said, yeah, that is a good idea because then you have more capital to use and you can take other positions and you don't have to sit there during the duration of the trade. So this one I still have. This needs to close above 165. Notice I'm placing the verticals below the low. Here's another one. Price needs to close above 155. All of these have been moving up. They've been really good trades. Not every trade is going to move up steadily like this. We are in a bull market right now. But even so, some of the trades on the list I can show you will move up and then come down and make a new low. So we do have to, it's not 100%, but I can honestly say that in these markets, it's probably 90%. With this one, Eli Lilly, price needs to close above 225. And I got out of one position at close to full profits, and then I'm still holding the other one because I've taken trades on two accounts. So here's Walmart. Beautiful trades to take just straight options on these. Price needs to close above 135. Now, the target on a breakout 4 trade, since this is a wave 5 trade, the target is at the previous high. And if we take out that previous high, then higher, obviously. But a conservative target would be anywhere between entry and the previous high. Okay, if you're buying the stock, or if you're buying a straight option. And these little green ticks show some Fibonacci profit targets along the way. And the red tick is the stop loss. You want to get out if price starts to go below the lows. I was going to say that I like to play defensively. I like to limit my losses, and that's how I trade. So leave a stop loss. IBM. This is an interesting one because certainly the spread trade had almost full profits in it, or at least 75% of the profits, and then look what happened. So on this day, I had to buy a put. I bought the put, and I got out of the spread and just broke even, made a little bit, I think, on the trade. And this can happen. Like, this can happen. And you just have to be prepared for it, which is why a conservative approach is to get out before earnings, get out at some profits. And this is what the price action did the following day when we gapped down. And I said, okay, I'm going to have to manage this one. And I did. And it was quite easy because the market actually went straight down. So it wasn't like I bought a put and then it went back up to fill the gap. It continued on lower. So that was lucky as well. Facebook. So same kind of thing. Now this Facebook trade, I don't know where Facebook is opening, but it's probably opening 5. This trade expires on Friday. Oh, this is what I did here. I probably could have kept the option because Facebook never really went below 320. But anyway, my rule was that if it starts to go against me, I'll buy the protective put and then get out at break even, which is exactly what I did. You can see this is the bull call spread that I took and the option put that I took. So net, it was just a small trade, $500 lost on the spread, $500 made on the option, closed, on to the next trade. Netflix. This is an hourly chart. So this breakout 4 setup happened on the hourly chart. If you look at the daily, it's a completely different trade. Netflix is just one way up. So that's another trade setup. So I had to go down. I like Netflix. I had to go down to the smaller time frame to find this breakout 4 setup. And this trade, I'm out of this trade. I took 90, almost full profits in this. So Warren Buffett said diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you are doing. So what that means is I like to, like I told you at the beginning, that I like to focus on breakout 4 trades. So I don't diversify. Diversification isn't the answer to making all the profits in the world. If you know what you're doing, then you can focus and do it well and perform well. And that's Warren Buffett's strategy. I did hear him speak once, and I remember vividly when he said, learn a skill, do it well, and just do it over and over and over again. And it's funny because I used to tell my traders, if it's boring, keep doing it. It ain't broke. Just keep doing it. Because traders over time would say to me, this is so boring. I'm bored. I heard it last week. I'm bored. Well, yeah, being bored is good. If you're bored, then take a demo account and practice on that, like to learn different trades and learn different skills. But if you're bored, it means you're making money and you're consistently bored. So that's what I want to be. I want to be bored with this breakout 4 trade. The watch list. Now we're going to look at some of these top trades here. Now notice I have the sector in the industry because I want to know what sector it is. I want to know if the sector is performing well. So this is Kroger. So here's the breakout 4 trade. This is consumer staples, XLP. So here is XLP. XLP is also doing well, and Kroger is part of XLP. It's one of the stocks in XLP. And it's interesting. I looked at all the ETFs, and most of the ETFs were showing this pattern as well, where we had a major correction and then they started to turn up. Cooper, here's another one. Okay, it's in the SPY and XLV. The SPY is doing very well, the S&P, and this is, like I said, Coup is in SPY and XLV. We already looked at XLV. So all of these markets are performing well. Here's XLV. LH, here's another trade. So these are all potential trade setups for today. I'm going to go to live markets. The market isn't open yet. It opens in 6 minutes, but I'm just going to go to the other trading platform where I've taken these screenshots from, and we can just go through some more charts. Now, how to play it. So I said you can buy the shares, you can buy the call spread, which is buying a call and selling a call with a higher strike below the breakout 4 trigger. You could do a bull put spread, buy a put and sell a put with a higher strike below the breakout 4 trigger. And you can go like 1 month out. I tried to find last week 1 week out, and I did take, a few of the 1 week out trades. But then, of course, I realized I did that with, some of them having earnings. So that was kind of silly. So I knew I would have to manage them. Or you could buy the option. So you could do all these things. Now I look at the daily chart. For day trading, you can use the breakout 4 on the hourly chart. Now, before I get to live charts, I just want to show you the program that we have coming up. It starts December 5th. But if you want to learn about all of the Wavy Tunnel Pro setups, then I have live coaching starting December 5th, but the program is already in the website and you can get started right away. You can learn about the 6 Wavy Tunnel Pro setups to capture all of the trades on the market cycle. And here's what you get. It is like a master's training in trading the market cycles, learning about Elliott and Fibonacci and harmonics wrapped up in the Wavy Tunnel Pro system. You learn about the proprietary combination of cycle high and low indicators with momentum indicators, which is what I'm showing you today. You will get 12 live coaching sessions with me starting December 5th. We have 5 days of training, and then you get to review student trade analysis sessions where students are actually taking trades and then we review them. You will get trade plans with the exact entry and exit rules, lifetime access to all training material, exclusive Discord channel access, really a professional tool set and education to trade stocks and options, futures, forex, and cryptos with consistency, which is invaluable. And we do have services as well, so you will get 1 month access to our scanners, wave counts, trade alerts, and trading rooms 4 times a week. The bonus is a $25,000 funded account. Now, I'm not going to talk about that now. I want to get to live markets, but this is just something to keep on the back burner. WavyTunnelPro.com is where you would go to look into it. And if you're interested in the funding, you would get back to me and I can tell you more about it. But I want to put up this is TradeStation. And remember, we looked at the trades that are setting up now, KR, Kroger, and I mentioned that 2 other trades popped up, Gilead and NOV. Gilead is biotech, NOV is energy. Energy also performing very, very well, as you know. So why don't we start with these top 2? They were ready 5 candles ago, because that's the ready. And today they triggered the arrow for the signal, right? So this is Gilead. This is fine. I prefer when price action hasn't gone so far below these moving averages. So I would probably pass on this one. Let's look at the next one, Nove. This is a short. So, right, and I'm only taking long position. So if it's red, it means it's a short, breakout 4.
So this particular NOV trade, you can actually sell call spread, be a call spread above these the normal semaphore, and
Yes.
that will actually give you very good, some good benefits on that.
Yeah, thanks, Shams. Absolutely. Yeah, Shamsa will sell. I don't like to sell. I just like to buy right now. So I wouldn't be taking this trade, but you can certainly sell it, like Shamsil said.
You can actually buy the put.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a few short trades here, but most are long, like this other one is, this is another one, another short trade. So it could be a long put candidate. So this is Kroger. This is, okay, so the market is opening up. I think I'm just going to bring over the indices just so at the market open, just so we can see where we are first. This is the 15-minute. So this is the Dow. We gapped up what we knew from the overnight markets, and now we're just trading down a little bit from the market highs. The S&P, well, this is the spider. It gapped up as well. Here's the Russell, and here is the QQQ. It gapped up as well. So this is where we are in the markets right now. So all of the markets have gapped higher. Not every stock, those are the indices. So this is something that we could definitely take. Shamsul, would you take this one as a long?
I will take only after my 1 to 3 reversal confirm that one, because I can see that it's coming down right now. So I will wait for another red semaphore down here, and then I will go long.
Okay, so Shamsul is getting into the specifics of our system, and what he's saying, what he said was he would prefer to wait. Okay, we have different trading styles. He would prefer to wait and maybe look at a smaller time frame and wait for a 1, 2, 3 reversal before entering. Let's just go down these. ALL, this looks like a nice one to take. Allstate, this one, it's interesting. I mean, this could be okay too, but it's interesting how we have red candles. The last 2 candles are red, meaning that price closed lower than the market open. All right, so this looks like it's coming down a bit. Yeah, so far all looks pretty good. All of these setups look terrific. I mean, they really do.
Mm-hmm. Jody, this one also got trend line breaks. And I believe that this is gonna go higher. So this is a high probability trade. This particular trend line is actually break, and I'm expecting an upper yellow semaphore somewhere around here. So that's a good trade to take.
Okay, so I'm going to make a note because we are going to mark these down and have a look. So LH and ALL, actually these are trades that you can look at today and take yourselves, but we can certainly look at taking them as well. So this one first, ALL, and then LH. Okay, Pfizer. Now let's have a look at Pfizer. What do you think about Pfizer, Chancel?
Well, I'm already long on this one. Remember, yesterday I bought Pfizer.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's coming down a little bit, but I'm still expecting that it's going to have a fairly snapback when it's coming down up here. Then it will be ready to go. And the reason why is because it's a trend line break as well. So look at here. So these trend line breaks, and that's why I'm expecting is to go higher. This is another one with the trend line break.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. I mean, it came down below the moving averages, but it's moving back up nicely. I think this one's okay. I'm just going down the list here. This one looks pretty good as well. We might have a correction down, but this looks pretty good as well. Now we're getting down into the area where we had the triggers 3 and 4 candles ago. So obviously it's okay to wait to see how it plays out, but if it continues to go higher, you've missed an earlier opportunity, once it triggers. Okay, so ideally you want to get in once it triggers, and that's the ideal situation. So now why don't we take one of these trades? Why don't we show how we can take one of these trades? So which one do we want to do? Why don't we have a look at all? Okay, Allstate. Why don't we just, since that was the first trade that looks pretty decent, and we can either buy the shares or we can do a bull call spread or a bull put spread. These are certainly candidates, like we just pointed out, all of these candidates. So I would say make a note, all. And what I can do is after this class, I am going to go and put some of these trades on, and I can post the trades that I took in the stock channel. That's what I'll do. Okay, and maybe Shamsel, you can post some of the trades that you took in the stock channel. Yeah.
I'm just going long. I'm just going to buy stock on this one on ALL.
Okay. Are there any stocks that you would like us to take a look at?
Baba.
Okay, so here is Baba. Here's the daily. Let me just move this over a little bit. So this doesn't have the breakout 4 setup. This is another one of our setups.
This is a trend line
tunnel.
breakout set.
Trend line break, but it's
and I'm expecting the prices to actually come around $200 with the Noble semaphore and give you a short breakout 4 trade.
Okay.
So that's PW fill the gap type trade I'm expecting.
Right. I'm long this trade as well. And I'm also looking for a move up here. I have a bull call spread, and once we get up here, I'm planning to get out of my position. So we have the same view on this. Somebody's typing in something else. Let's have a look. Oh, very nice.
That's breakout 4.
This is a breakout 4 trade. Well, this is one of our students posting it.
Is this part of the S&P 500?
And NXPI is right over here. Yeah.
Here. Okay, yes.
It's right here. NXP Semiconductors Technology. It's right over here. And we can see it right on the breakout 4 scanner. 9 candles ago, ready signal, 5 candles ago, signal. Yeah, very nice trade. Very nice trade. Okay, SBAC was on the list the other day. Oh, good. So I'm so glad that you are taking these trades and looking at these trades that we've been posting. Wow, this is a nice one. SBA Communications. So this would still be on the list here, but it's 5 candles ago ready. Actually 6, because it's not including today's candle. But at 61.8% retracement now. So these trades are really phenomenal. I can't stress that enough. And if you would like to learn more about it, you can certainly take the training or stick with us in the stock room, and we'll keep posting these for you so that you can see potential trades setting up.
With those breakout 4 trade, if you got a trend line breakout, then that's very, very high probability trade. And if you want to show them
The trend lines, okay.
trend line, now the trend line scanner on these ones. So if you can make that scan a little bit bigger, they will see the trend line breakout as well.
Maybe I have it on this one. I have it on this one, the ETFs. It's funny because I started out saying I want to focus on one trade, the breakout 4, but Shamsul likes to look at because he has integrated everything into his repertoire.
It's just the additional confirmation, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are the automatic trend lines that we have, and they also show up on the scanner, on the chart and on the scanner. So you want to talk about this one now?
Yeah, so like you can see this pink trend line breakout, and there is another trend line which I don't know why it's not showing, which is yellow blue. It means that if this yellow blue trend line breaks, we are looking for the upper yellow semaphore somewhere around here. But these are the one which they can learn in the training and in the room, and that's very, very high probable trade. So like for example, this pink trend line, that's mean that's when this one is break, the target is your red semaphore, which we got it here, and the trend line actually break here. So after 3 days, the market actually peak and give you target to exit that. For this particular trend line, this red trend line up here, when that's break, the target was the noble, and that's we got the noble up here. So those are the very, very high probable trades.
So I use the trend line breaks after we have a market peak, and if I'm long especially, and I would use them to get out of the position or to buy a put. Now that's one part of the market cycle, and that's what Shamsul described, but now we're down here. So this is the breakout 4 trade. And when we get these, I'm just repeating what he's saying, when we get these breakout 4s in combination with the trend line break, it's very powerful. So Doug, you're asking, is the stock scanner best seen on TradeStation? Well, we have the stock scanner on TradeStation. Only right now. We're working on getting it on other platforms, but this is where it is right now.
If your broker support stock CFDs, then you can use MT4 as well.
Is the TradeStation scanner available for a subscription? We are getting it ready for subscription. Yes. It's not ready right now. Should be ready hopefully over the next few weeks. This is so exciting for me because we've been working at this. We've been using Wavy Tunnel Pro strategies, since I guess 2008 is when I first started using the Wavy Tunnel Pro. And just in the last year, we started to use technology and program the setups, the strategies. And I'm very excited. So I want to thank Shamsul for that, because he was really instrumental in helping me to get this done and to push us to do it, because it's just so valuable. So thanks, Shams.
Well, I actually did for myself because I knew that I can't sit in front of the computer all the time.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I know. It's just, and I can't either. And I just can't sit here all day long anymore. So to have something like this, I can just trade for, put on my positions and then do what I have to do. And I'm much happier, much happier.
You can set up alerts on the TradeStation. So when the signal generate, you will get an email or whatever method is, and then you can come to the computer and take the trade.
Yeah, exactly. So TradeStation right now is where we have this. And, but with the training, we do have the Wavy Tunnel indicator sets on most of the platforms. We just don't have the scanner on most of the platforms. So I could just show you that. So this is where we are with the indicators. We don't have them on everything right now. We have them on MT4, TradingView, Motive Wave, TradeStation, Wealth Charts. and we're working on getting it on these. And in terms of the scanner, we have the scanner on MT4 and TradeStation currently. We're working on getting it on MotiveWave. And I mentioned the funding program. We do have a funding program, and on the funding program, we are working on getting stocks on the MT4 platform, which means that anybody in the US would be able to trade the stocks on the MT4 platform through the funding program, but we're not there yet. Currently, on the MT4, US clients in the funding program will be able to trade the stock indices and commodities and the currency pairs. I hope this was useful for you, and continue to come into the stock room. We're going to, as I said, I'm going to take some trades today. I'm going to post them in the stock room. Shamsa will post his trades. And if any of you take any of these trades, please post them in the channel. That's how we get good ideas, and that's how we get a community. And this, trading stocks is great when you have good ideas and a plan, and you can work together to achieve significant results and be bored together. Let's be bored together. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for coming in, and we'll have another one of these. Let's be bored together. Thanks, Shamsul. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, bye.